Yo, 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 it's your boy Cool Dave, Spirit Radio 105.1 FM, Spirit1051.com, man. We are back, and I'm here with the legend himself, man. A man of many talents, a man of God, a man of faith, a man of business, a man that's doing it big. So without further ado, let's meet the man himself, Stormy, man. Say what's up to the people, bro.
What's up, people, man? How y'all doing? It's definitely a blessing to be here. I appreciate it, man.
Oh yeah, man. Already, yo. So let's jump straight into the interview, man. So I always gotta ask anybody that comes through here, you could describe yourself in one word, what would it be?
Trying.
Trying. Oh, I like that, yo. I like that, man. Trying. That's what's up, man. So as you're trying, as you're doing this thing and you're grinding, what inspired you to be an entrepreneur? What inspired you to do the things that you do today?
Man, definitely my dad. I mean, if most people know me, they know, for one, I look just like my dad. And he's always had businesses.
Right.
He's always been trying different things. So it's definitely me, my dad. And then when I got older, just seeing how the world was changing and wanting more out of life. So I would say initially my dad.
Word.
And then however I'm set up, man, it's just tough for me to go work 9 to 5. So
yeah,
I don't know what made that like that.
Yeah,
but,
man, I feel you, man. I feel you. That's what's up, man. So you said your pops, man. One thing that I like and one thing I admire is like your family. So that's what's up. But what's the hardest part about being an entrepreneur and working for yourself and building a brand?
People. The people, man.
Word. Yeah.
It's people because people don't really. It's hard for everybody to get on one accord. It's not impossible though.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna say this. I ain't gonna say it's hard. It's a lot of numbers. So like me and you, we connected a long time ago.
Right.
And you're not even from here.
Right.
So it take getting to the right person to get to where you want to go. So what happened is, you had like family and everybody say they want to be on board and they'll do this and you just they native to you, but it's you got to go through a lot of people.
You do. You really do, man. And it's like, as you say that, it's like, your mentality, you know how hard you work. And it's, for me, I know it's hard when, people want to get on board and people want to do it, but they're not willing to put forth the same amount of grind, the same amount of effort, but they want the same amount of results, So with you, it's hard to balance that, man. I know that it's hard to balance that, but people, as you connect with people, you grow and you build. And like you say, I met you a long time ago, man. And, just seeing you grind and seeing you do what you do inspires me to keep grinding and doing what I'm doing. And also just being a connection and an outlet for other people as what they're trying to do as well, giving people an opportunity to shine. I know that you've been doing live videos and giving people information, giving people game on their IRS stuff, giving people game on houses and things like that, man. So what do you enjoy the most about being an entrepreneur? What do you enjoy the most about your brand?
Really that, man. It's selfish. It's a unselfish selfishness, if you would. It's like when you give something to somebody, you still get a satisfaction from you knowing it. So that's my little quirky thing. Like I'm researching and I'm talking to people, and that's satisfying to me because some of the people who are listening to me, they may not hear this other person.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Exactly. So I just feel like, God gave me opportunity to reach some people, not everybody. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. God gives you the task and God puts people in front of you that you can help and enhance. And then it could be for a season. And then as they grow, they got to move on to the next person that can help them out. So how has the pandemic affected you as a businessman or as an entrepreneur?
Wow, man. Man, it's been I think as everybody, it's definitely been a roller coaster. But I think as well, it's been a blessing in disguise.
Right.
At the beginning, man, I was happy because I was getting to be at the house when everybody was at the house together.
Right.
And me and my son, like, we really like just committed and focused on his sports, man. And he got amazing. So it just showed me that, family first.
That's what's up.
You know, because you don't never know how that's gonna change.
Exactly,
you know what I mean?
exactly.
Because you couldn't even do business. Some people, so business, I ain't gonna say it didn't matter, but you couldn't do it.
Yeah, you couldn't. Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Exactly, man. The pandemic really slowed things down and put things in perspective. And I feel like, I don't know about you, but I feel like this is gonna be a new transformation. Like, I feel like we'll never go back to 2019 life. You know what I mean? Like, we'll kind of get back there, but I think moving forward from 2020, man, things are gonna be different. You know,
I agree.
The avenues of working for yourself and finding new ways to make money, finding new ways to connect with people, finding new ways, because things are changing, man. So I think that's dope.
I definitely agree.
Yeah.
I definitely agree with that, man.
So as you go through life, as you go through the things, I know being an entrepreneur and a businessman, you got ups and you got downs and you go through so much. What is your favorite Bible verse, or what is your go-to Bible verse when you're going through these things?
I like in general it's and I don't know it by like word for word, but it just say, if you can think on anything, think of the good things, think of things that's pure. Think pretty much just think on positive things.
Right.
I forget which one. Then my other one is you have not because you ask not.
Man,
you know.
Yeah. Yo, that's a big one, man, because and that has a lot to do with your confidence too, because it's like, man, as you grow, and as I work for myself and I do things like I have my grind, but there was a point in time in my life where these things weren't really a reality for me, like not feeling like you can do it. You see other people do it and you hear about it being done, and deep down you know you have the skill, but it takes a certain level of confidence to step out there and actually take that chance, you know, and take that chance of failure or success, because, you know, I've had failures doing what I do too, but those are my learning experiences. Those is what I can take to say, okay, this isn't the right way to do it, but this is the way to do it. And, you know, I've met a connection here, met a connection there. So it's like, man, you're having that confidence is huge. Step out there, man.
And we both ball players, so you know you take your shot.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? You're just trying to get it right. You know,
you're
trying to shoot.
Exactly, man. Facts, man. So, what do you feel up to this point is your greatest accomplishment?
I honestly believe right now is it may sound cliche, but really being in the house with my kids.
Yeah.
You know, because this world right here is a little different. I know we get away from tradition on a lot of things, and you know, our tradition ain't bad, because what tradition is tradition is like people did something one time and they want to create that feeling again.
Okay. Yeah.
And so it was one successful man and woman in the household, but what happened is now we don't see that it's not a good feeling, you know. So I like I say, the pandemic, going back to that question, it just showed me how important it was to be in the house with my kids. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's really my biggest accomplishment, because like I say, I've had pulls of not being, you know what I'm saying, of not being there. So you know, and it's not like my family, my friends, it ain't like that's a normal thing. You know what I mean? That's not just, it's almost more normal not to be.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Man, yo, that's crazy, because like you saying that that's your biggest accomplishment says so much. And everybody that's listening, man, I really want y'all to get this, man. And it's like you working, being able to have the freedom to work with yourself has opened up time for you to be at home, and for you to, like, that's so important, because like that's your family, that's your legacy, that's who's going to carry on whatever it is that you're doing. So I think that's huge. That's huge. And when I ask that question to most people, that's not even what comes to their mind. You know, you think about accomplishments that you've done in your grind and in your business, but just being an accomplished father, being a good father, man, that's huge, yo. So if everybody that's listening, man, y'all get that jewel, man. Storm just dropped the jewel on y'all. So let's talk about real estate. So you've been doing a lot of real estate, man, and when we get off air, man, you know, I'm gonna have to holler at you about some real estate stuff, man. But so what made you want to get into real estate?
Really, my partner, Quintella, she was in real estate, and I seen how she started off, and we had started our other business together when we was doing Primerica. And when she got into real estate, at first she was tugging on me and I wasn't ready. And then when I seen how she was booming, but what's crazy is I didn't really realize how hard she worked. So like you was talking about earlier, it's definitely a grind. And so I took my shot and got my test. I passed my test about 1.5 years ago.
Okay.
And this year I really just got serious with it this year, because last year I was juggling the restaurant, and so I got serious this year, man. It's been crazy. It's been unbelievable, really.
Wow.
A lot of people in the community been able to buy houses, and like that's why I'm coming from the educational approach. Just to kind of show people that for most people, what it is for most people, it's hard for us to get a business loan. It's easy for us to get a college loan.
Yeah.
But if we go to the bank, if your credit not strong, if your financial statement's not strong, it's tough. But real estate is the one thing that you can, I'm going to say pretty much anybody within a year can be ready to get a home loan. And then you can turn around and use that in the future for almost as an investment, through equity and whether you turn into a rental property eventually, because not to dig too deep, but even when you're going to do investment properties, they want to see that you had a personal property first. Right. It's hard for you to say I want to invest and I don't even got my own property.
Right. Yeah. Hey man, y'all paying attention? Paying attention?
So those things, just me learning, and then I'm like I say, I got my reach of the people who gonna listen. So hopefully, as I learn, those who want to learn, they can learn. We can learn along, and I'm learning from y'all.
Yeah. Hey man, and that's dope, man. One thing that I like is that as you get information, you give it out. You know what I mean? A lot of people, they get information and they hold it and just try to keep it for themselves, like almost like, oh, if I give somebody else this information or this opportunity, they might take it over me. When it's just like, nah, like we all trying to grind. As everybody grows, that gives opportunity for everybody else to grow, and that's one thing that I like is that you'll give people that information and give people that tool so that they can stand on their own too, and not just have to rely on everybody else, just kind of how like the government do. They want us to have to rely on them to survive, when it's like there's ways that you can do it on your own. There's ways that you can be self-sufficient and that you can have cushion for emergencies and good times and things like that, So I think that that's very important. I've looked at your Facebook page and I've seen people I know personally, you've helped them buy a home, be a homeowner, and that's huge, and I think that's dope. So keep grinding, man. Keep doing what you're doing, Word up. I think that's dope. So what do you want to do moving forward? Like what's the next move for Stormy?
Okay, cool. Now on the business, because I mean y'all know how I feel about my family, so that's A1. I definitely want all of them to be in place.
Right.
But what I want to do now is, what I'm gonna do is everything is definitely transferring to online, which people hear that. But then again, just like the Bible, man, there's nothing new under the sun. So communication is big, and I just think like me and you talking here face to face, that's always going to be one of the best forms of marketing. So really that's where I want to go. I want to go into just helping people with their business, because as we were saying earlier, it's the entrepreneur age.
Right.
And it's no matter what business it is, just helping them get what they want out their business.
Right.
And helping them understand that like you really need to know what your business is supposed to do for you. That's what I learned from restaurant. That's like you say you learn from a lot of things. What I learned from the restaurant industry is you can have like false expectations. So people see you make all this, and you see you making a lot of money, but you don't realize how much money like the typical restaurant keeps, because you don't know the numbers.
Right.
So if you understand the numbers, then you can understand. Same thing with real estate. People getting in real estate, they frustrated if they get a real estate license and they ain't make no money for 5 months. Well, they say the typical agent don't make money for 6 months. So you could be that rare person. Like I had my first sale my first month, and other people do as well, but that's not typical.
Right.
So if you set the right expect, that's why people go out of business, because the expectation's not right.
Man, y'all get he dropping jewels right now, man. And that's so true. Because I'm an artist, I'm a music artist, so it's like when I make music, well, in the past when I've made music, and it's like, yo, I made this dope song, I'm ready to drop it, and you had this expectation of like, when you drop the song, everybody's just gonna listen to it, everybody's gonna share it, everybody's gonna love it, and that's just not true. Like, you know, your friends will listen to it and be like, yo, that's dope, but you have to understand, first of all, who your audience is. So I had to learn about there's a niche out there. There's people that listen to you, you know what I mean? So if I'm rapping about God, it makes no sense for me to shop my song in the club. You know what I mean? Expect everybody in the club to be like, yo, I'm trying to buy that new Cool Dave. You know what I mean? No matter how many friends I have in the club, that's not my niche. That's not where they're going to ride with their music. And people have to understand that people aren't just going to support you just because. You know what I mean? Like, if you got to have something that people want. You know what I mean? And it's like, especially, and one thing I've noticed is that people say that it's outside people that support you, and it's outside people that are going to buy your product more than the people that are close to you. And it's just because, I feel like it's because thinking of me and music. It's like, man, my friends and my family have listened to my music and heard my music for free for forever. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's unrealistic for me to just expect for them to be like, oh man, I can't wait to buy that new Cool Dave. It's like, if they're not truly a fan of my style of music, but they like me, I can't just have the expectation that people are just gonna buy my stuff just because they like me. You know what I mean? If my product isn't what they need, or if my product is not what they want. So I want people to switch their mindset to think, okay, I need to make a product that people need, not just expecting people to support me because I'm me. You know what I mean? Or because I'm black. You know what I mean?
That's true.
And just say like, okay, support me because I'm a black man starting a business. But is my business beneficial for the people who I'm asking to purchase my product? And I think that's cool, man, because you're breaking down a lot of stuff. And I see that you're giving people a lot of information and a lot of game. And you said false expectations. And I think that is one of the biggest reasons people's business don't thrive, or people don't have the patience to keep going even when they don't see the beginning results that they want to see. So I think that's cool, man. So talk to me about the restaurant, man. What's going on with the restaurant? What was the experience like starting it? Because I've always been a fan.
Oh yeah, you've been there from the shack to grits and gravy. Right.
So what was that experience like?
Man, it's exciting. I mean, I ain't gonna lie, I missed the smoke shack. You know.
Yeah, me too.
The smoke shack was the spot. How we found it, you know, it just everything that's lined up perfectly, but it show you other avenues of business. Like, we didn't own the building, so when they decided to, you know, sell that up there, us including other companies, Dazzlers and all those other, you know, my man Blake at Martial Arts Spot, like, we had to move, you know, because we owned the business, but we didn't own the property, real estate. But it was exciting to get into it and see what kind of money you could make, and how many smiles you could put on people's faces. And at the same time, it's a lot of hard work. And I would see my dad in this, you know, like, man, you know, he was working hard, and he still work hard to this day. And it make you look and say, well, dang, I mean, if he been doing this 30 years, and my wife used to look at me and be like, man, that may be you. You know, working like that, you know, killing, you know, not killing yourself, but really grinding, and it's physical, you know, so that's helped set my expectation because I was in it. So far as where we're going this year with winging it, it's been definitely a trying year. We had a couple great months, where it was like a blessing in disguise, because if you can remember, everything kind of went to no occupancy, and we was already pretty much to go only. So that was like a plus for us because we were to go. So we were a good place that we could still deliver through DoorDash, and so we had a couple really good months. But then once they cut the unemployment, we seen sales drop dramatically.
Oh wow, okay.
And where we're going now, just to be completely transparent, is just taking my dad and what he's done for these 30 years, and giving out recipes, anything from flowers, so we can touch more of the world. We probably actually gonna be getting out of like the brick and mortar portion of the restaurant and selling that here this year sometime, but we'll still be in business more so like online. Like how you can order from Honey Baked Ham. Like you get a ham in California.
Yeah.
So you should be able to get like our ribs. Now if you from up north, from Maryland area, you know, DC, you want your people to taste our food, we'll have it packaged where they can get it.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we'll be still in business, but we'll be more so online. Right.
That's what's up, man. Yeah. That's what's up, yo. So transitioning, man. That's cool, yo. Just like, yo, if you trying to start a business, yo, I hope you guys are tuned in, man. I hope you guys are taking notes. There's so much to running a business, and I think that what I'm getting out of what you're saying is really you need to know what you're doing. You need to educate yourself on what you're doing, and as you learn and you get that experience, man, you apply it. You know what I mean? You apply it and don't do, you know, like insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over and expecting to get something different. You know, it's just not true. So as you learn and as you experience something, make those changes. Accept that. I think a lot of people have a problem accepting when they've done something wrong. You know what I mean? If it was their idea and it didn't work and they did it wrong, sometimes their pride won't be like, well, maybe I need somebody's help, or maybe this person has a better idea than me, and if I apply it, it'll be better, you know? So sometimes we can be in our own way, you know?
Man, that's tough. It's crazy that you say that. I worked at Charter for a little bit. Now, I don't know if she'll be listening to this, but my manager at the time was Shonda Wilson, and the only, out of all our meetings we had, the thing she used to always tell us, she'd be like, a lot of y'all in y'all own way. And that just stuck with me. And to kind of speak to what you were saying before about knowing what you're doing, a lot of times what end up happening is like somebody give you game on something, but then you don't want to accept it. So like even with the COVID, like I was talking to my guy, Bill Nichols, he owns Sullivan's. And a big shout out to him. They got one of the best restaurants in town. But I remember before, they didn't ever do DoorDash. They didn't never do those things. But when I interviewed him, he was like, COVID pretty much forced us to do this. And he was like, now I probably won't never go from it. And then like now Durkee at Arnold's, they doing some delivery through those companies. But that's us as people. Like usually, you don't. Somebody ain't gonna stop smoking till they have a heart attack. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I think the people who really gonna like get ahead of the game, they'll take the advice. You just like they say, I'm just dumb enough to try this advice. That's it. You just gotta like.
Yeah, man. I mean, because it's like you've done it one way before and it ain't working. Why not try something different? Or even if you've done something and it's worked, as times change, you know what I mean? You got to change with the times. You know, like you want to hold on to certain things, but it's like, it's almost like in the league. We both basketball players. Yo, you got to have a 3-ball now. You know what I mean? Like, hey, man, you know, it was one point in time, they ain't even have a 3-point line. But as time keeps going, time keeps progressing, it's a 3-point line. Then the Golden State Warriors changed the whole game. And now it's like you can keep trading 2s and 3s. But, you know, that's not a good method in the league now, you know? So it's like, yo, you got to develop, you got to have some trade ball shooters. That's just what it is. You know, you got to elevate with the times as times change, yo. So I think that's awesome, bro. So where can people find you? Where can people connect with you at? Where, social media, any websites, anything, where can people find you?
Best is, if you type in Stormy Mattison on Facebook, I'm going to pop up.
Word. Okay.
I'm gonna pop up, you know, and then everything gonna link from there. So if you type in Stormy Mattison, I'm gonna pop up. And then if I also like on the food tip, if you type in wingin it, we're gonna pretty much, you can Google that or anything.
Man. That stays in my top search bar.
I do.
Just so I can click that number.
I do want to lead the people with something. Me and this lady was talking about this yesterday, and this for anybody, but especially for like our people in the minority communities, like a lot of times we've been like, man, we need them to give us this, and we need the government to give us that. Which I'm not totally disagreeing, but what I'm saying is a lot of times we got to be ready when the opportunity comes. So like I say, you've been grinding forever. I mean, not only you do music, but like you know how to run the mixer. You know what I'm saying? So like an opportunity may pop up where like, and you just need to be ready.
Yeah,
like you ain't prepared. Like you've been saying, okay, I want to go to the NFL or I want to go to the NBA. Then they knock on your door and you like, well, I ain't even hooped in 3 months.
Yep.
So, and that's us. It's like, hey, what if they came out now and said, hey, we're going to give y'all this, and the third, but you got to have a bank account. You got to have, are we ready?
Speak, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Yo, that's crazy, man. Because, yo, if you get anything from that, anything from this interview, anything from our discussion, what we've been talking about, man, get that. Be ready, yo. Be ready for your time when your number